It is MMAWeekly.com. I'm Damon Martin. I'm here in Montreal with UFC welterweight champion George St-Pierre. Last week, of course, was the big news. You officially got the medical clearance. I know you've been working really hard in rehab and getting ready. What's running through your mind when the doctor finally says you're good to go?
I was free in my mind and happy to get back in my normal life.
You've obviously known for months who you were going to be fighting when you came back. How hard was it to focus on the fight, but also really focus on your knee? Because obviously that mental thing, you can overthink things a little bit. So did you have to be clear to focus on the rehab on the knee as opposed to thinking constantly about the fight?
No, I was focusing only on my knee before. I didn't focus on the fight at all. And now I'm going to focus on the fight, only on the present moment. That's how I learned in my career. Don't focus too much on the future. You never know what's going to happen. Things change.
By the time you come back, it will have been about almost a year and a half exactly since you fought. And since you last left the welterweight division, it's changed a lot. Carlos Condit is the interim champion. You've got Kampmann and Johny Hendricks now fighting on the same card. What are your thoughts on the welterweight division, how much it's changed since you last fought?
It's a lot of fun. It's like there's a lot of new challenges. And very happy to be back. It's like a new thing, It's actually pretty cool. And I feel a lot more motivation right now.
Is it good because there was a time not long ago when people said George has cleaned out 170 pounds. Now you coming back, there's a list of guys waiting. Is that exciting to you to have that awaiting you when you return?
Yeah, it's always exciting. Look for a bigger, better challenge, and I'm happy.
Lately, we know Carlos Condit is the challenge. There's been a lot of chatter, not from you, but from folks like us and Dana White about Anderson Silva. But here's my question. When you were fighting Jake Shields, everyone rated you as a huge favorite, and you told everybody, don't do that. He's a guy that deserves your respect. With all the talk about Anderson Silva, how much disrespect is being shown to Carlos Condit right now?
Yeah, it's terrible. I hate that, but I'm not focusing on that. I'm not speculating. I'm thinking about Condit right now. And that's what I should do. He's the most dangerous guy, and I'm going to have to take care of business.
When you look at Carlos Condit, very dynamic striker, obviously a great fighter off his back. I know it's the generic to say he's the most dangerous opponent, but the way that he was able to fight different than his normal style to beat Nick Diaz, do you believe that makes him even more dangerous, the fact that he fought the way he did, had that great strategy, and it was really different than what we had seen from Carlos before?
Yeah, it's different, but yeah, he can change. That's why he's so good. He can change the way he fights according to his opponent. That's why he's so good, Carlos Condit. And I know that. And I'm going to take the fight and fight the best as I can and give it all.
I've got to ask you, I know going into this fight that Greg Jackson will not be in your corner. He will not be in Carlos's corner. Have you talked to Greg at all in the past few months as you were getting ready? And I know you and Carlos never actually even trained together, but did you have any conversations with Greg leading up to the official announcement, or have you stayed in contact with him at all? Or
No, I stay in contact with Greg. Greg is a great guy, but for helping me for the fight. No, we're not in contact for helping me for the fight, but I can always call him, hey, how are you? He's a good guy, we're close,
You had, when the fight with Nick Diaz was announced, there was a lot of personal animosity there. With Carlos, a lot of mutual respect. Do you prefer that? You had the same thing with Jake Shields, where there was no trash talk. There was no, name calling like you've had with fights like BJ Penn. Do you prefer the respect factor?
Yeah, I don't really mind. I tell you the truth. We're going to hit as hard as we can, regardless if we talk bad or not. So it is what it is, He's just as dangerous. He's even more dangerous. He doesn't make you feel like it. So it's pretty most dangerous guy or like that.
Last question. Again, the whole Anderson Silva talk seems so far off in the future. Do you feel like there's a lot of challenges you need to conquer at welterweight before we can even talk about those things? Because there's a #1 contender match as the co-main event for your card. Kampmann and Johny Hendricks are sitting right there. I'm sure they want the winner of you and Carlos. Do you feel like you still have a lot of challenges at welterweight before we can even start to fathom the future?
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like I have a lot of guys, that are there, and I don't understand why people are going crazy now. But I just came back from an injury, so maybe some people see me as a weak link and stuff like that. But we'll see what's gonna happen in the future.
Well, welcome back, and we look forward to November 17th in Montreal.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.